Hi, my workplace warriors. If you're working hard in your job search and still not getting traction, I want you to look closely at impact bullets, duties versus outcomes. This is one of those areas where effort and results can be badly out of sync. You can apply to many jobs, edit your resume again and again, and still leave the reader unclear about your fit. Today, I want to help you make that message cleaner, stronger, and easier to trust. So, here's the first thing to understand. Resume bullets list activities, but do not show what changed because of the work that was done. That mistake can show up in many fields, including warehouse operations, finance support, classroom teaching, technical support, etc. It usually happens because the job seeker is trying to keep every option open. But a hiring manager is not reading your information like a scrapbook. They're looking for evidence that you can solve a specific business problem in a specific role. So let's look at a real world picture. Think about a supervisor who says, I manage daily operations, and that may be true, but it does not tell what improved because of their management of daily operations. If that same person says that they reduced delayed orders, improved shift coverage, or cut repeat errors, the bullet starts to carry weight. That's why the details matter. The reader is not only asking, can this person do the job? They're also asking, can I quickly understand how this person fits in my team? So, the main idea is that a duty is a job receipt. An impact bullet is the before and after photo. That's why your goal is not to sound impressive to everybody. Your goal is to sound relevant to the right reader. When you do that, your experience becomes easier to remember. A clear message saves the reader time, and in a competitive search, saving the reader time is a real advantage. So, let's look at a few mistakes that we need to avoid here. Mistake number one is using broad language with no proof behind it. For example, a person may say that they are skilled in communication, leadership, problem solving, and organization. Those words are not wrong, but they are not enough. The reader needs to see what those skills produced. Did communication reduce complaints? Did leadership improve schedule coverage? Did problem solving remove a delay? And did the organization help the team meet deadlines? That is where the message starts to work. So, mistake two is treating every role the same. A resume for a training role should not read exactly like a resume for a project role. A profile for a sales operation role should not sound the same as a profile for an administrative leadership role. The experience may be connected, but the angle must change. That does not mean you make things up. It means you choose the most relevant proof for the role in front of you. Then, mistake three is hiding the strongest proof too late or revealing it too late. Many job seekers put the best information in the middle or bottom of the resume. By then, the reader may have already moved on. So put the strongest match early, put the clearest language near the top, and make that first impression do its real work. Let's look at some industry examples that can help you along the way here to avoid these mistakes. And I'm going to give you a few of them. So think about that warehouse supervisor reducing late shipments is stronger than a plain duty line. A finance assistant cleaning up invoice errors is clearer than saying supported operations. A teacher improving student reading scores gives the reader proof, not just a label. And a software support lead lowering repeat tickets helps the reader see scope. Notice that none of these examples depend on one profession. The point applies in operations, education, technology, healthcare, finance, customer service, trades, creative work, and yes, leadership roles. So, what should you do instead? Here's that approach to get better results. Use the did what, for when, whom to improve what bullet formula. Start with the job posting or the role you want. Circle the words that repeat. Where have I usually done this or actually done this work? Your answer should lead to a bullet, a summary line, a LinkedIn phrase, or an interview story. If you cannot connect the word to proof, do not force it. Find the real proof first. So, a simple check that you can use to make sure that you're meeting this objective is to use this test that if someone covered your name and current job title, could they still tell what kind of role you're targeting? The answer is no, your message is too broad. If the reader can see the target role, the most relevant strengths, and one or two results quickly, you are getting closer. Your material should not make that recruiter hunt. They should help the recruiter connect the dots. So let's look at a field scenario clinic. And this will make it very practical for you and really drive it home. So in scenario one, a warehouse supervisor reduces late shipments. In that case, the stronger message is not just the task. The stronger message is the connection between the task and the outcome. Scenario two, a finance assistant cleaning up invoice errors. Here, the reader needs to see the size of the work and why it mattered. Scenario three, a teacher improving student reading scores. This example may come from a completely different field, but the rule is still the same. The wording should help the reader understand skill, scope, and value. And then scenario four is a software support lead lowering repeat tickets. That kind of detail turns a plain claim into a useful signal. So what should you not do? Do not turn this into a word game. Don't grab impressive phrases and sprinkle them everywhere. Do not bury your best proof at the bottom of the page. Do not expect the reader to translate your old title into their open role. And do not assume that being qualified is enough if the evidence is hidden. Your job is to make the right fit faster and easier to see. So, I want you to do a little exercise for me that's going to improve your comfort level in these tasks versus outcomes or actions versus outcomes. It's a 5-minute exercise, and I want you to open one job posting that you actually want. So take your time and select wisely. Write down the top 5 needs you see in that posting. Then, beside each, write one real example from your work history. If you cannot find an example, that may not be your strongest match. If you can find several examples, that need should probably show up early in your resume, your online professional profile, or your interview story. So, the big lesson here is strong content is not always longer content. It is clearer content, and that is different. It points in one direction. It gives proof. It respects the reader's time, and it helps your best experience show up faster. Now, some common questions that I often hear are, what if I have several target roles? You can have several interests, but each application needs to be one clear message. Keep a master document with all of your achievements, then pull the best pieces for each role. Another question is, do I have to change everything every time? And the answer is no. Usually the biggest changes happen in the headline, summary, skills, and the top few bullet points on your resume. Your work history stays honest. Your focus gets sharper. A third question is, what if I do not have numbers? Well, use scope when numbers are not available. Talk about teams, customers, files, projects, deadlines, risk, time, volume, or quality. You probably have more proof than you actually think. So, if I were teaching this on screen, I would show a blank page with 3 columns, and those columns would be labeled employer need, my proof, and where it goes. Under employer need, I would copy only the most important phrase from the job posting, and under my proof, I would write one honest example. Under where it goes, I would decide where it belongs in the summary, whether it belongs in my summary, in my skills section, in the top bullets on my resume, in my LinkedIn headline, or in my about section, or would I save it for my interview story or have different versions of it to sprinkle across each one of these areas? That simple table keeps you from guessing. It also stops you from trying to fix everything at once. So why this helps different career levels is because whether you're early career, mid-career, management level, or executive level, early career job seekers can use class projects, internships, customer service, volunteer work, or team assignments. Then mid-career professionals can use projects, process changes, customer outcomes, training, metrics, or cross-functional work. Then senior leaders can use strategy, budgets, people, and the leadership of people, change management, revenue, risk, or operational results. And the level changes, but the clarity rule does not. And I hope you're following me. So your job search does not need more noise. It needs more clarity. And if you want help comparing your resume, profile, or job search materials to the role you're targeting, use the HRBN Modern Resume and ATS Optimizer. And if you want deeper coaching support, explore my Career Search RX coaching program or the public to private careers transition program if you are pivoting from the public sector to the private sector, because your experience has value The work now is to present that value in a way that the right reader can understand the value you bring quickly. So let's talk about a 2-layer review. Before you finish, this 2-layer review is to use layer 1 as the fit, to test it for fit. And you're going to ask yourself, does this connect to the role, the posting, and the employer's problem? Layer 2 is credibility, because you always want to build credibility at every step of the selection process. So ask yourself, does this show proof a real person can believe? And if your wording passes only one layer, keep revising. A polished sentence with no proof is still weak. A strong result buried in confusing language is also weak. You need both clarity and evidence to be successful. So let's build our momentum. And remember that this kind of work also protects your confidence, because when your materials are vague, every rejection feels personal because you cannot tell what went wrong. When your materials are targeted, you can test and improve the process. You can see which roles respond, which words are working, and which examples need to move higher. That turns the job search from a guessing game into a learning system. So, do not confuse simple with weak. Clear language is powerful. Direct proof is powerful. A focused message is powerful. The job seeker who can explain their value plainly often beats the job seeker who hides strong experience under long, vague wording. So this week, your assignment is simple. Choose the role, study the language, select the proof, and make the match obvious. You know that my goal is to help you live your best career life. So I need you to give me a like so that the algorithms know that this content is awesome and that others need to be aware of it. Then share it with your network, because I'm sure you know others who are on a quest to live their best career life as well. Leave me a comment and let me know what type of career transition and job search topics you would like for me to create content on in the future. And then when you're comfortable, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that you will be among the first to know when I drop new content. Until next time, career success to you. Go get your new job.